r/Reddit. Women, what is a surprising fact you discovered about men?
I am constantly floored by how little some men know about their close friends' lives. I know multiple men who speak to their best friends super regularly, but could not say with certainty if they're single, what kind of work they do/where they work, etc. I don't understand it at all, but I just keep meeting men like this.
I once worked with a guy for 3 years and never learned his name. Best friend I ever had. We still never talk sometimes.
Ron Swanson?
Don't know, never learned his name.
Just don't get too chummy there. Lester.
Oh God, I had this at the company where I did my thesis. Most people knew I was trans and a bit awkward, but they all rolled with it. Some of them I could talk to for hours, days even, but out of what must have been 25 people, from that department, I knew only 5 people by name. 2 years later, I found out that the senior manager of that department is a longtime client/friend of my dad, but to this day he hasn't connected the dots and thinks it's just a coincidence. 7 years later I started working at that company again and one of those guys still works there and I still don't know his name.
My ex was baffled by this. I'd get back from hanging with a friend and the conversation would go like this. Her, have fun? Me, yeah. Her, how's Liz? Me, idk. Her, what about their kids? Me, idk. Her, how's his promotion? Me got promoted. Her, what the fuck did you talk about? Me thinking back to the story I told him about the one, long unbroken turd I dropped last week politics.
I don't know what my 2 best friends do for a living. I've known them for 4 years. I went to their weddings. We talk almost every day. We do all kinds of shit together. If either of them quizzed me, I'd be fucked. I love those guys though.
It really depends on the dynamic of the relationship. Of my 2 best friends, one of them fits this criteria. We talk regularly about our shared hobbies. I know he recently went through a breakup, but if he's been seeing anyone new, I'm not entirely sure what he does for work, and I only have a general idea where he even lives. The other is one of the guys I served with. I know his wife, his kids, what he does for work. I don't know his address off the top of my head, but I could get to his house. We talk regularly about our shared hobbies, but also about life in general.
My fiancé always wonders about this. Her, anything interesting come up during golf? Me, I don't think so. Her, how's Bob's wife? Me, good, I assume. Didn't come up. Her, how's their new baby? Me, dunno. Her, how's his new job? Me, didn't ask. Her, anyone ask about the wedding? Me, nope. Her, what the hell did you talk about for 5 hours? Bob, switched, how far are we from the pin?
Being single or in a relationship, and what kind of job you have don't have to be related to status. When I ask someone what job they have, it's not because I want to sound like I'm better than them, not sure why that would be the assumption, it's because I'm curious. Same with their relationship or lack thereof. Also, when you say, among men, friendship doesn't include status, it's kind of like you're implying that among women, it does. Neither of these are entirely true, they're just generalizations. There are some friendships among women and/or men that include status, and those, I think, aren't real friendships, and some that don't. That really is it.
You'd understand it better if you pictured a type of relationship that was purposely sought out to not talk about any of those things, and how incredibly valuable that is in a world where your job or relationship consume every aspect of your life.
Why are so many men lonely and have no emotional support outlet? Why do so many men only talk about their emotions and struggles with their romantic partners? Why are suicide rates so disproportionately high for men? And yet also, men don't want friends where they talk about the stressful or hard things in their lives. They bottle those up and dump them on safe partners who will listen instead of being vulnerable with the boys. No partner? Yikes, better not mention it to your friends or you'll be a downer and not focusing on things other than stressful topics.
I have no idea what exactly my best friend of 10 years is working, what his relationship status really is or whatever. That's because I don't need to. We play some games, we laugh about stupid shit, talk about old stuff and get nostalgic about it, and that's it. Then we do it all again whenever the time is right. May that be tomorrow, next week, next month or next year.
No joke, just found out about 2 months ago that my friend was getting married. At the very least, myself and another friend didn't even know who his soul was or see a picture of them until we learned that they said yes. Are we going to the wedding nonetheless? Of fucking course. We have since seen a picture seriously, though. He thought he had talked about her with us before, but he hadn't. We found out she said yes, then got a name, and then finally got a picture.
That when a guy is invested in a girl, they are oblivious to other flirting women. When my husband and I were still dating, I saw women hitting on him so bad, and him not realizing these women were hating on him was jaw-dropping. Me, what do those two girls wanted? All dress up with drinks in their hand. My husband, they wanted to know where the bathrooms were. Me, dude, these women knew where the bathrooms are, they just intend to make small talk with you. My husband, nah, I told her the bathrooms were over there. Me, exploding head.
This is me. We were out and my wife saw me staring at something. She thought it was a hot chick in a bikini and asked if I was enjoying the view, to which I responded yeah, but I can't quite make out the tires. I think they are BFGKM/2s. She was puzzled, then realized I was looking at the Jeep she was standing next to.
Half the time we're just confused as to why a stranger is talking to us. More often than not, men in public are treated as invisible, unless we are walking alone at night, then most women that see you treat you as a threat.
Back when I was working in sales, there was one customer whose nipples got hard when I would greet her. Standard for me was, "Hello, how may I help you?" Since I worked at a counter, I was always in a particular spot. One day right after this one customer left, I asked my coworker, female, if it was cold in the store to her. She looked at me a little puzzled and said no, and then she grinned and asked if it was about the last customer. I said yes. She laughed and told me that the customer liked me and was attracted to me.
Something similar happened to me when I went with my GF and her friends to a local brewery. I got up to get us another round, and there happened to be a female in line with me. Due to slow service, we ended up chatting while waiting for the bartender to return. Came back to my GF upset, like something happened. Apparently, random line girl A was hitting on me. Every touching me. Something I honestly didn't even notice. When you are with the person you want to be with, literally no one else registers. It was an eye-opening experience that I'm told has happened multiple times since we started dating.
Piss boners are a thing, apparently. Fascinating.
I bend at the hip, push the boner down and try to aim while bent over at a right angle. Once I start pissing, the boner usually starts to alleviate, so by the end I'm almost pissing normally. Pro strats?
It's very person to person about it being painful. I can piss with a full-on rager, and the only real issue is that I feel like I have to mentally control my body to release the piss. No pain whatsoever, just takes a moment longer for the stream to start flowing, and of course aiming is more difficult.
Haha, I remember being 5, not understanding what boners were obviously, and trying to convince my mom I couldn't wait any longer for her to bring me to a bathroom to piss cause my pee-pees is already hard. The look on her face, lol.
Being male, I thought they were piss boners my whole life until I mentioned it to my doctor. She told me the two are unrelated except for timing. When we wake up we have to pee and we have a boner, but neither is causative of the other.
A man has several erections in the course of a night's sleep, each when he reaches the almost awake point of the sleep cycle, about every 90 minutes. When they awaken normally, men have boners. If not, there's a blood supply problem. Think of it as a morning boner. There are no piss boners.